Greetings from wherever you are watching us from. Moses has one principle that in every challenge, you must put a procedure or a process into it. As at Dairy Networks, we pose a challenge to you. You have watched a lot of videos from us, but have you subscribed? This is a moment to give you 15 seconds. You kindly subscribe. And also, have you ordered milk from House of Hope? We provided you with the contact. Kindly book your milk from them. You'll enjoy their yummy yogurt. The mango flavor tops. As we are having a discussion with Bwana Moses about the challenges he has faced, there's something he didn't mention, that whenever he tried to grow maize in this farm, he was facing a lot of challenges from the guinea fowl, from the squirrels, and also some other pests and bacteria in the soil. He had to develop a procedure. His way of thinking is very ingenious, and he came up with this procedure. Bwana Moses.
Yes, so as Juguna, you have said, we will plant direct seeds. We don't plant a big acreage of maize at once. Once we started procuring silage from outside, what we needed from our farm was a regular supply of fresh maize. So we started doing it in rotation. So what we did is that because we're not doing it in large tracts of land, what we were planting, we plant what we are going to consume every month. So every time we will plant directly, we would have guinea fowls, partridges, francolin birds. Those two birds, zile wakati mwingine tunazitanga ngware, zile zinakujanga zinatoa mahindi. And we would lose quite a lot because in our area of Syokimau, many people are not farmers. So when these birds, when they notice that you are the one who is farming, they come and habit at your hapo ndio kwako zinakuja kukaa. So one time I asked my farm manager, na si hapa tukiweka hizi mbegu kwa tray kama nyanya, si zitatokea tutatransplant kwani zitakufa? Akaniambia unajua zilikujaribu tu, ikikufa ni sawa, ikikataa si tutaendelea. And we put them in the trays like what you are seeing here. Within 16 days they were ready to move out, and we transplanted them and they went well. Here we harvest in about 90 to 93 days, and we went all the way to harvest, and we realized we can do this because once we take it at 16 days, it's about 6 inches long. The birds cannot remove it from the ground. And there we cured our big problem of these birds removing the maize seeds. And so this is what we have been doing. So what we do is that around me you can see the maize seedlings. We calculate how much maize we are going to need in a certain patch of a certain block of the irrigation part of the land for 1 month. And we plant those seedlings in these trays, those seeds in these trays, and then within like 16 days, tunazitoa seedlings, tunapeleka, and the same day, we plant for the next phase. So every month, we remove seedlings za mahindi hapa twice, because they stay for 16 days, tunatoa, na hiyo siku tunapanda mbegu zingine tunarudisha hapa. Then the manure that, what you're seeing here, once we started doing these trays, this was quite expensive, because we had to buy the planting medium, the Cosmos, the coco peat. 50 kilogram is about 5,000 or 5,500, quite expensive. So again, we started asking ourselves, with the manure that we have and the nice fertile soil, can we do it? So we started using our manure and our soil, mix of our manure and our soil, very rich, like a nursery, vile nursery inakuanga imetengenezwa. And that's what you're seeing.
Wow. Like this is just the ordinary manure.
This is just the normal soil, black cotton soil, na manure.
Maybe you have the ratios that you mix the, 50. Or is just...
We just make sure that it is well. Actually, at the first we'll mix maybe 50-50. And then we realized, actually these days we don't even bring them together to mix. Ile mahali ambapo our slurry passes through the napier, we just go and collect from there. It is ready.
It's ready.
It's ready.
Now, for how many days does it take these maize to germinate?
As I said, once you put the seed, by the 3rd day, you see the shoot coming up. By the 16th day, it's ready to go out.
So you When did you realize that you can do such a thing?
I think around early 2020, when the birds really bothered us.
This is a COVID baby.
This is a COVID baby. Because it reached a point where there was nothing. Like we would plant 100 seeds, 100 of them are eaten up. Because remember last year was also very hot.
Oh, yes.
And these birds were all camped in our farm. Because all around us, the city, people are just building. Nobody has a farm. So they were coming, and anything that you plant, the same night, they remove all of them because they're very hungry. So we started doing this, and now we've been able to succeed.
Now, doesn't this bird come to bother you when you're harvesting the maize?
Yes, we do actually have a challenge with that. Like these birds come to peck at the cobs, but because our maize is not for human consumption, it does not go so far. It's still at the milky stage, going to the dove stage. They're not really able to pick out and make so much damage. By the time they're able to try and pick out something, it's time for harvest. And because we do a rotation, we are always like at the right time to pick it out. Any
special variety of maize you use, or it's any kind of maize?
Actually, here what you're seeing is a mixture of Pioneer and some from some yellow maize, and I think a little bit from Monsanto. So anything.
You just buy randomly?
Maize, as long as it's within our altitude. Because when it is for high altitude, it becomes very problematic if it's not raining. They'll stunt when they're small, and you'll not get anything. So you need to get something that is of 28,000. We buy like a P28, Pioneer P28. That's about 28,000 feet. Yeah, so that one.
Where can one get these trays from?
Hizi tunanunuanga pale Marikiti, pale Wakulima Market. All those agrovets have those things. I think the one is like maybe, not wrong, maybe 100 shillings, 150 shillings. This
one
like,
tray?
And it carries about 147 or 146 seedlings.
Wow.
Yes.
One tray, 150 shilling, carrying 150.
Yes.
Why this kind of housing?
This is you notice this in karatasi ya greenhouse.
Yes.
Na net ya greenhouse, which tells you nilikuanga na greenhouse, which tells you haikuenda vizuri. Ndio tuko hapa. But in everything you give thanks, because in between the wind and the rains that tore up my greenhouse, we built a propagation unit. This one helps to bring in a little bit of heat and helps the germination go far much faster.
How often do you water these
It's
trays?
done once, and somebody just uses a small...
once in a day?
Once in a day. Somebody just uses a small tin or a small bottle, and kitu kidogo tu. It doesn't consume, because also the soil is very rich in manure. So it holds the nutrients very well.
This is something you can recommend to farmers in arid and semi-arid areas?
If you have an irrigation system, or it can be drip lines, or it can be the furrow types that we make, and you are planting in rotation, you can do this. It takes nothing, believe you me. Karatasi ni karatasi yote ambayo utapata. I always do my things, as I say, from the most basic of things. I know sometimes I might need machinery for some things, but kama ni kwa shamba, I try my level best. All this is what we call reclaimed materials, ambazo zilikuwa to be discarded. And we said, let's build something. As you can see, it's, old percent they've done.
In our previous video, Bwana Winikia told us that in dairy farming, always kiss the moment. Keep it simple and stupid. So this one, for this case, it looks so simple, very simple. If you look at it from outside, you might think, oh, ule jamani nini anafanya, amekosa kazi ya kufanya. But this one was the easiest way to mitigate the birds and also any other pest that opt to have affected the established maize. It solved the problem 100%.
Yes.
What would you have thought about it? Maybe use a scarecrow. Maybe have a guy chasing the birds there. Maybe use chemicals. Just this simple structure solved everything. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Until the next video, have a lovely moment. Always remember, kiss the moment.